If I gained weight, would you tell me?
That's a tough question.
I see that all the time on social media or this or that. That's like a very controversial topic is like, how do I tell my significant other that they've gained weight? How do I approach uncomfortable conversations with my significant other?
If you said, do I look like I've gained weight? I would not say yes.
Good. Smart man. Welcome back to another episode of Mean Girl Pod. Alex, you look so different today.
Thanks for having me back.
You guys, you need to be watching this episode on YouTube because Pete, who is my boyfriend, is helping me co-host the podcast this week. Alex is in Spain, enjoying her time. So I was like, we'll have Pete come on and we can do some chit-chatting about our relationship and other things.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to be back. It's been, 6 months since my first appearance?
November, December, January, February, March, April,
longer,
May,
yeah.
June. It's been 8 months.
Wow. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Because you came on when we literally first started dating. Like, we met in July. We started dating officially end of August. And then we dragged you on the podcast in front of so many people in October.
Yeah, for the big reveal.
And you did so good.
It's all right. It's all right. Round two will be better.
No, you did so good. I know it's that's how everyone is. Like, you record something, or it's like when you do an interview and then you black out and don't remember what you said. And then you, like, hear the feedback and they're like, you did so good.
Totally, yeah.
Oh, also, never mind, I was gonna say since you're not pregnant, I can't say that. Since you're not pregnant, you can enjoy Monster with me.
Let's go.
Because Mean Girl Pod is presented by Monster Energy Ultra. What flavor do you have?
I have the Ultra Fiesta Mango. What
Cheers
do you got?
me. I have Ultraviolet.
Cheers.
So I said this a million times, but did you drive a car to college?
Yeah, I did.
Did you have like a go-to drink you always drank in the car when you would go? And if it's not Monster, don't tell me what it was, but just like yes or no.
Sometimes I get Monster.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. Other times, a soda, a water, something like that. Did you?
Well, so that's how I got into Monster Ultra was I would drive 4.5 hours from Minnesota to North Dakota, and I would stop at this one gas station that was halfway through. It was in Alexandria, Minnesota, and I would get a ultraviolet or a orange one, and I would drink it for the rest of the way up because I would usually drive it like early in the morning or late at night, and I was like,
Yeah,
I must stay up.
Nice. Yeah, that's a good way to go.
Yeah, so it was nice. But before we get into this episode, Julie wants us to be better about explaining to our audience who might be new here what we're going to talk about, because sometimes people might be like, these two are crazy because they throw things around all day, every day. So this main episode is going to be about conflict and all the fights that Pete and I have gotten into and how we've dealt with them and gotten through them. So if you guys are interested in learning about how to deal with conflict in a relationship, this episode is for you, and highly recommend to keep listening. But if you want to skip the intro where we just chit chat, you can skip to the conflict part. But just want to give everyone a heads up what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, I think we're starting off with some funner topics in the beginning, actually.
Yeah. How are you? I feel so weird because I talk to you all day, every day.
Yeah.
When we went to see your parents last week, I can't remember if it was your mom or your dad, but they like asked about how much we communicate. And I was like, since the first day we've met, we've talked every single day.
Yeah, literally nonstop since that first date,
You're
which is actually coming up in a less than a month.
So this episode comes out 7/8, and we first met on 7/12. So this is kind of around our first year of meeting.
Yeah, it's crazy how fast it's gone. But yeah, we've talked every day since, and I talked to you today already. But I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. You're the only person I've talked to every single day for a year straight. Like I don't even talk to my mom and dad every single day.
Oh, same. Yeah, definitely.
But no, I'm good. This week we were getting ready for moving because I'm moving into your apartment in like a couple weeks. But since our summer schedules are kind of hectic, I'm just trying to put on or do a few bags at a time. And yesterday I brought over a ton of stuff to your apartment. I even have not cuts on my arm, but
Yeah.
what do you call that? Just
a
burn?
raspberry, yeah.
Like a backpack burn for how heavy the backpack was.
Yeah. No, you actually don't have that much stuff that you have to move over.
Yeah, I'm going to be very, very proud of myself for everything I'm fitting in, because if you guys might not know, but obviously, no, you do know that how small New York apartments are. The whole world knows how small New York apartments are, But your apartment is truly made for one person. It's not made for a couple.
It is. It's a true 1-bedroom, but I think it's like 600 square feet, maybe less. Thank God we have a walk-in closet right out of the living room. That's basically going to be Jordan's room.
Pete, my apartment is it's like 500 square feet.
No way, really?
Yeah.
Yours feels bigger than mine does, for sure.
It's because it's like an L.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I feel like emptying out that closet gives you enough space to put everything that you kind of need, right?
Quick pause to talk about Skims. Everyone knows that finding the perfect t-shirt can be such a challenge. I've always had problems whether it's finding a good fit or quality, but luckily the perfect t-shirt does exist and you can find it at Skims. I don't know about you guys, but I work out my Skims. I sleep in my Skims. I literally live in my Skims. I probably wear their sports bras every single day and I sleep in their pajamas every night. I know Pete really loves my pajamas because they're nice and soft. They're also not like suffocating. Like I'm someone who sweats so much when I sleep, and when I put Skims on, I feel nice and cool all night. I know Alex loves the boyfriend t-shirt. I love the cotton jersey, the long sleeve t-shirt. Those are my favorites, and we're both just so obsessed. So if you guys want to try out Skims, shop the Skims t-shirt shop at skims.com, now available in sizes XXS through 4X. If you haven't yet, be sure to let them know we sent you. All you have to do is once you place your order, click the drop-down menu where it says podcast and make sure to select Mean Girl Pod so they know that we sent you. Happy shopping. So I'm
Maybe not.
No, I'm like fully the opposite of a hoarder. It's like an actual problem. Like my roommate Paige, she's like worried about it. She's like, you throw away too many things. You get rid of too many things. I don't know what it is. I think it has to do with like my OCD I had as a child. I like can't handle clutter. It causes me anxiety. So if I don't use something, I will immediately get rid of it. So I don't even have that many clothes. Like the closet is like this big and I'll probably fit all the clothes in there.
No, totally. When I left my last apartment before I moved into this one, you made me empty out my closet. I got rid of half the clothes that I owned, which I should have probably done a long time ago. But yeah, you were definitely an anti-hoarder.
I was a little mean to you then. I was like, get rid of it. If you haven't worn it in a year, get rid of it.
No, that's what I totally need that because I'm sure other people listening know, like, you keep shorts and things that you have from high school because, like, they're still okay.
Yeah.
You know, like, I could wear those forever, but no, it's time to get rid of them.
I'm also going through, and I feel like you are too because you just turned 30 last year and I'm just turned 29. Like, I'm in this stage, and also, too, getting into a relationship, I'm in this stage of, like, changing my style. Like, before, I mean, when you're single, you wear more revealing clothes or, like, I don't know, like, not as well put together clothes maybe, and also when you're younger you do, but now that I'm like 29 and I'm in a serious relationship, I want like beautiful clothes that make me look like
a little more conservative.
Well, like a rich mom that lives in the Hamptons.
Yeah.
Like that's the style I want.
No, I totally get that. I mean, as a guy, I don't feel the same way.
Really?
I think I'm wearing the same clothes I always have, but yeah, I see where you're going.
Or I'm helping you with your clothes.
What are you concerned about with moving in?
Honestly, like nothing really, because you and I are very lucky where we have completely different morning schedules. We're never in each other's way. Like you now go to the gym in the morning, and then when you get back, I'm already gone.
Yeah.
And then when I would get back from the gym, when I move in, you'll already be at work. Because I feel like bathrooms are what causes the most conflict in a relationship. Like being in the, like someone needs to get in the shower, or like I want to do my makeup and you're like, I need the bathroom. So I don't foresee too much conflict. Also, you and I go to bed around the same time. We have very similar eating habits. I truly don't know. What are you worried about?
I'm not worried about anything. I mean, we basically live together as it is now, you know?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think the last time that you even slept at your apartment.
Yeah, and like we're both so clean where it's not like I'm going to be irritated that you keep dishes in the sink or anything.
Yeah, totally. Do I currently do anything that you're like, that's not going to fly when we live together?
Oh, I wish I had like better answers to this, but you're like the perfect roommate. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I think what might cause some conflict is our styles are a little different for how we want to decorate the apartment.
Yeah, but that's something that I'm just going to let you do. Like, I'm not going to really argue on if you want to get something new,
Yeah.
you know?
But that's the only thing I could see is like you, like me taking down your pictures and you being like, you're not taking those down.
Yeah, the hundreds of dollars of pictures that I have are just going to go in the trash.
Are you worried about anything?
No, I don't think so. I mean, like I said, we basically live together now. I think that we had a good progression of like living together because I lived in Connecticut when we first met, so we couldn't see each other every day. And then by the time I moved, you were sleeping over more, and then now at this point, it's pretty much every day. So I think that, you know, we kind of like eased into it.
Also, too, you work in office almost every day. I work from home, so we don't even see each other. I mean, we barely see each other in the morning. So only like once 5 o'clock hits, like when you get home from work.
Yeah.
Like if we both worked from home every single day in that apartment, I think that there would be conflict. But
yeah, it's too small for that.
Like
for
I'd
sure.
be making a video when you're on a call and you'd be like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I know. I've thought about that. I mean, I work from home 1 day a week, so we'll see how that is. But I could always go into the office too.
I don't think that's weird.
This is something that we haven't talked about, but how do you think we're gonna handle things like doing laundry and shopping and things like that?
I feel like you came so prepared.
Yeah, I had some questions that I didn't tell you about.
Well, laundry, I mean, unfortunately, we have a laundry in the building. Like, we don't have one in our unit, which sucks.
No, but I mean, like, are you going to do one big batch with both of our laundries, or you stick to doing just yours? I stick to doing just mine.
No, I'll do your laundry. You make me dinner every single night.
Okay,
like,
fair.
I'm
Done.
so okay.
Let me get this in writing.
No, like, I like that. To me, that's like what's crazy. Like, if I'm doing the laundry, I'm not gonna fold and put away your laundry, but I will throw it into a machine.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. Hey, if the laundry's there for me to fold, at the end of the day, I'm happy.
Or like if you're at the office and I'm doing laundry, maybe I probably would fold it because I'm psycho about not folding your laundry as soon as it gets out of the washer. But I'm not going to put it away. Like, you know what I mean?
No, totally.
But you mean, you make me dinner every single, like, I feel like you and I are so good at pulling our weight. Like, when you make dinner, I always do the cleanup. So like if I did the laundry, I know you would unload the dishwasher or take the trash out. Like, I feel like we just are so good about balance. Like, I never feel like I do too much or you do too much.
Yeah, I think it kind of stems from us both living alone at one point in our life. I mean, for the last 5 years, I lived alone, you know, or I guess 4. But
I mean, I've had a roommate, but still.
yeah, but you have to be responsible for your own things, you know. Your
Yeah.
roommate's not cooking you dinner and doing your laundry and things like that. So because we're both so independent, like, it's gonna be weird for me to even stop doing things like that. Like, it's just part of me now.
Well, and that's something I really appreciate about you is you are so, I don't know what the right word is. Not like hands-on or it's like like you do things for yourself.
Independent?
No, like you. Yes.
Self-sufficient.
You're so self-sufficient, which I know might sound crazy, but I remember when we first started recording this podcast, there was a clip where I was saying how my brother, he does now, but 3 years ago, he would come home and like, he would ask my mom all these crazy questions about laundry or like have her do the laundry. And he'd be like, how do I remove a stain? And I'm just like, you're kidding me. But I come to you for advice sometimes on like you steamed my dress the other day. I was like, I love this.
Yeah, I mean, just like, again, living alone, having to do all that stuff yourself, you know?
Yeah.
And also, I'm 30 now, so it's not like I'm just figuring this stuff out.
You're still a child. You're so young. Quick question before we get into the conflicts things, because I feel like this has been the theme of our relationship for the past week. My BO.
Oh, God.
Wait, what do you think I was going to say?
I don't know. But
How I've been nagging you constantly because my hormones are changing.
I thought that's where it was going. The BO, yeah. So to make it clear, you've never been a smelly person.
Well, so I have a question about that. So the whole world knows because I've put it on every single platform. I just got on birth control, and when you get on birth control, your hormones change, and the deodorant I used to work doesn't work. But getting on birth control, or even like Alex even might have dealt with this when she got pregnant, like you get like a hormonal BO type of thing. But I made a video about it, and so many people were like, your boyfriend just told you have BO? And I was like, well, yeah, well, how else am I going to know I'm smelly?
Well, it's like, when you have something in your teeth
Yeah.
and you're sitting across from someone, and if they just don't say anything about it, then you're just going to walk around all day with that thing in your teeth.
Yeah.
So I was just like, hey, you smell a little bit.
You're like, you're stinky.
Which is, I don't think it's that weird to say. Wouldn't you rather know?
Yes. I'd much rather have you tell me than, like, let's say I'm in a room with people and they're like, what smells? And I realize it's me at the end of the day. But because of that, I've been making you smell my armpit every single day.
Yeah, if you guys want to see that, go to TikTok. There's a daily armpit smell.
But I finally found deodorants that I feel like do the trick.
Yeah, totally. So far.
I know that's the problem. It's like now it has to go through the test of like the New York heat. That what will be the real test is after you move all my stuff and if I smell. Because I like used to be that person who never smelled, and now that I smell, it's just like a massive irritation of mine because no one wants to be smelly.
Yeah.
But I'm like obsessed with it. I'm like, I need to find the deodorant that masks the smell.
Yeah, I mean, that's just like one thing that you can't let happen. You can't walk around like being a smelly person.
As you guys know, Alex and I absolutely love therapy. We go every single week without therapy. I don't know where I would be. I don't know where Pete and I's relationship would be without therapy because I talk to her about all of my problems every single week. But of course, they never have anything to do with you. It's just what they have to do with me. But I absolutely love therapy. It's just helped me so much in every single aspect of life. When it comes to my relationships with my family, my friends, my boyfriend, my job, every single thing. It's just so amazing. So if you're thinking of starting a therapy, make sure to give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited for your schedule, which is the best part. All you have to do is fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. So get it off your chest with BetterHelp. All you have to do is visit betterhelp.com/meangirl today and get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/meangirl. If I gained weight, would you tell me?
That's a tough question. Were you planning that before?
No, I just thought of that. I was just thinking, like, I feel like you and I have such good communication about telling each other things.
Yeah.
That actually, I see that all the time on social media or this or that. That's like a very controversial topic is like, how do I tell my significant other that they've gained weight? How do I approach uncomfortable conversations with my significant other? And like, I guess it's kind of like conflict because that could start a massive fight.
So this is the thing is I think that you're so conscious of like how much activity you're doing and what you're eating and things like that, that if you were starting to gain weight, you would notice that you're gaining weight.
Yeah.
And I think you would bring it up to me before I ever brought anything up to you. So, I mean, would I, if you said, do I look like I've gained weight? I would not say yes.
Good. Smart man.
But if you were like,
I'm saying like unhealthy.
oh yeah, if it was starting to get towards the unhealthy end, then like maybe, but it depends. Like, look, if you're comfortable with how you look and you feel healthy and you are healthy, then I don't think that I would go out of my way to say something like that.
You would love me no matter what.
Exactly.
Because I feel like we're also very honest about that. Because if you were like, Jordan, do you think I've gained weight? I would be like, yeah. But I would be like, I still think you look great. It doesn't bother me.
Would that be a lie, though?
Well, I think I can say that to you. Guys can't say that to girls, but I can definitely say that to you.
I agree with that.
Like, if you were like, Jordan, do you think I've gained weight? Like, a little bit, I would be like, if you want my honest opinion, you maybe look a little bigger than before, but it doesn't bother me.
Yeah, I think at a certain point you have to be honest.
Yeah.
You know?
Also, too, if you were someone who wasn't active, I would just be like, hey, let's go on more afternoon walks. Or
Try
like,
to trick me into exercising?
kind of, yeah. It'd be like, let's go on a evening walk together. Or let's start cooking it at home more often.
Yeah, I mean, both of us, we exercise almost every day. So,
Yeah.
Like, we'll see down the road. I don't think we'll ever come across that.
Yeah. Well, that's another reason why, too, I think we're like so compatible is we just have very similar daily habits and values that I didn't realize was so important in a relationship until I met you, where I was like, you really do need to, like, I don't understand the whole opposites attract thing. Mm-hmm. Like, I think that you and I are similar and I love it because like, we have the exact same type of habit of like how active we want to be, what type of vacations we want to go on, what food we eat every night. Besides, like, you're celiac, like, we're very similar.
Was that, so when you were dating before me, you didn't think about that stuff when you were?
Well, I always heard like opposites attract, and I always thought maybe like it'd be fun to date someone so different because like every day it's spontaneous. Like I never know what's gonna happen. Like it adds excitement, but I can't imagine enjoying that long term. I feel like that would just add stress and a lot of anxiety for me because I'm the type of person who's very routined and I like a planned life. Where for some people opposites attract probably works, but I don't think it would work for me.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I mean, when the beginning of dating is like interviewing, you know, you just ask each other a ton of questions. And I feel like you just pick up on those things. You know?
Yeah.
If you're dating someone and they were like, I never exercise or I don't like to listen to podcasts
Yeah.
or something like that, then, you know, you pick up on red flags for yourself.
Can you imagine? You're like, I actually hate social media.
I hate social media. I hate podcasters.
Do you have any other questions for me before we dive into the conflicts?
I had one question tying back to you moving in.
Oh, yeah, you
that
can
I
ask
wanted
it.
to ask.
We're all over the place on this show. You can ask it.
A little bit, yeah. So you lived with one of your boyfriends, what is this, like 5 years ago at this point?
Yeah.
So
Wait, did you not live with your girlfriend?
I was in college. Like my last serious girlfriend was in college.
You guys didn't live together?
Not really. No, we had our own places.
Oh, for some reason I thought that you lived with your girlfriend. So you've never lived with a girl?
No.
Oh, slay.
Aside from my sisters. But
Oh, I have a question for you then. Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
what's something that you learned from, or has there been anything that you learned from living with your ex?
Well, I would say like the biggest thing is get two bathrooms or have a completely different bathroom routine. Like that started so many fights.
Okay, so we can't do that one.
Well, no, we're already good there because we're never in each other's way. But this
Yeah.
also was during the time where everyone was working in office. So like you would go in the office at a certain time. Like I was going in the office, he was. But like it would be the thing where I would get up 3 hours early and then I would get home. And then as soon as I got home, he would jump in the shower because he had to be at work in 10 minutes. And I
Yeah.
was like, I have literally been gone for 2 hours.
I feel like I'm pretty conscious of that stuff. You know, like if we wake up together on the weekend and like you're going to the gym and I'm not, like the bathroom's yours.
Oh,
before
yeah.
you leave, you know?
No, you're so good about it. The only thing that I think I just want to stay cautious of is making sure that we don't get in too much of a routine, which we actually kind of got in an argument about, which we can talk about in a bit, but making sure that we're not just doing the same exact thing every single night and it's just a routine of like getting home from work, making dinner, going for a walk, watching an episode of Netflix, going to bed. Because then it becomes, I feel like, very roommate-esque.
Yeah.
And then like the fun of the relationship kind of dies down.
Yeah, totally. Do you want to wait to talk about that? Because I feel like that's a good subject.
Well, yeah, so the main part of this is what our biggest conflicts are and how we've dealt with it. And the question was like, what was your biggest fight, how you moved past it? But I feel like we've gotten into a lot of arguments this week. Not a lot, but a couple. Partially because my hormones are all over the place.
No, I mean, me too. We've both been short fused a little bit this week.
Yeah, it was like perfect timing. I was like, we rarely fight, but before we're recording an episode together, we actually have bickered quite a bit this week.
It's been silly though. It's like the things that we're fighting over are laughable. You know, it's
Yeah.
not even like, it's not something serious most of the time.
Well, I think it could be a mix too of like now subconsciously like the pressure moving in together is coming. So I'm starting to think of like more conflicts that could happen. So for example, one of the fights that Pete and I got into was I had this idea without telling him where I was like, oh, it's Wednesday. I want to do something fun. So as soon as he gets home from work, I'm going to be like, let's go out to dinner. He got home from work. He went to the grocery store and already bought food. And he was like, well, I already bought food. And I was like, but I want to go to dinner. And the argument was part, he goes into the office every day. So like when he comes home, he likes to decompress. I'm alone all day. So when he comes home, I want to like, that's when I want to like interact with people. And then the other part was I just don't want to ever get into the routine of work, cook dinner, go on a walk, watch Netflix. So the next thing you know, it just becomes like a rut. And like, that's my biggest fear is like not settling down. Just like having that, like, not like plateau, like, or settling, but next thing you know, it's like a month, 2 months have gone by and you've done the exact same thing every day and you're just like, where's the spark and like the spontaneity of this relationship?
Yeah, no, definitely.
So I kind of freaked out at you.
But and my argument back to that was we do a lot. Like the last month we've been away almost every single weekend, you know?
Yeah.
Like whether it's Rhode Island, we went to my parents last weekend, like we're constantly doing stuff. And I think it really boils down to the fact that you work from home and I go into the office. So I feel like I'm doing something because I'm leaving the apartment as you're working in the apartment all day, every day.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, the best thing that we do to overcome our conflict is we always see where the other person's coming from. Like, I feel like we truly put ourselves in each other's shoes, where I was like, okay, wait, let me take a step back and remember the time when I went to an office every single day and I was in sales and I talked. When I got home, I just wanted to like decompress. And then you also did a really good job where you were like, okay, I remember what it was like during quarantine where you're alone all day and it's lonely.
No, totally. Yeah. I mean, the end of the argument was basically we agreed that we need to do at least one thing, maybe in the middle of the week on a Wednesday, where we go to dinner or go to the park or whatever, sit on the roof and eat dinner up there or something, just to add a little difference into the week.
Quick pause to talk about Ouai. You guys, Ouai is my favorite shampoo and conditioner hair care brand. I absolutely love them. My favorite is their detox shampoo. I use it every single day. My roommate also uses all their hair care products, so if you go in our shower's stocked, and it's absolutely wonderful. I love it. They work with every single hair type. If you want a shampoo conditioner made to nourish every hair type and tackle exactly what your hair is lacking, Ouai is for you. If you want volume, fine hair conditioner will help give you that lift without weighing you down. That's punny. In between fine hair and thick hair problems, wash your way to a happy medium with medium shampoo and conditioner. I absolutely love Ouai. It's been making my hair so shiny. As you can see, if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see the shine in my hair. I actually wash my hair every single day, and their detox shampoo doesn't even dry my hair out. It keeps it shiny, moisturized, and it helps give it volume. So I'm obsessed. So if you guys want to wash your way to healthier hair in shampoo and conditioners that were made just for you, go to theouai.com and use Mean Girl for 15% off your entire purchase. That's TheOuai.com, code Mean Girl. Happy shopping. Yeah, and it doesn't even have to be crazy like going out and spending hundreds of dollars every week. It could be like making food and bringing it to a different destination just to change up the scenery and be around other things and people, because when you're in a very, very small apartment all day, you like forget, like it really gets to you, and then you like walk outside and you're like, I've seen the sunlight for the first time, and you're like, I just want to not necessarily like go out and talk to a million people, but just be in like a different environment where there's different energy.
No, totally. And it's even harder here than other places just because our apartments are so small, you know?
Yeah.
You just feel cooped up.
So I felt like we did a really good job coming to like a good compromise. We were like, okay, once a week, we'll try to do something differently. Also, too, we haven't done this yet, but we're going to try to implement like that one surprise date a month type of thing, where it just adds a little excitement, where he might take the month of July, I'll do August, where he'll plan like a fun surprise date. And it doesn't have to be anything crazy. It could be crazy, like surprising me to go to a concert, or it could be I packed a picnic and we're going to go to the park, or we're going to have a movie marathon where I brought a bunch of snacks. Like, it doesn't have to be crazy expensive. I think a lot of people get in their heads where in order to have fun, it has to be like hundreds and thousands of dollars, but it can literally just be like something different you don't usually do at your apartment.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I'm not worried about us getting stagnant because it's hard for us, aside from during the week, it's hard for us to find time to like just chill.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like we're doing something with your family, my family, your friends, my friends. We're just kind of like schedules are booked.
Yeah.
It's funny. Like when we were trying to schedule dinner with my friends a couple weeks ago, like that scheduling went on for probably a month, maybe a month and a half, where I was trying to find a weekend that would work between us and then two other couples.
Yeah.
Just everyone's so busy, you know?
Well, I think that's a thing with me. Like you're pretty good about this, but like I allow my past experiences to cause me anxiety. Like when I think of stagnant, like I think of that was one of the issues in my past relationship when we lived together. It got very stagnant. Or like I look at older people around me, relationships, and I'm like, they do the same thing every single day. They're miserable. They're not happy. Like, I don't want that to be us. And I allow like these issues that haven't even come up to affect me. And then I start to panic and then I just like freak out.
Yeah. Yeah. You definitely do that often.
Often?
Well, just around other situations too that I don't want to even like mention here, but where I feel like you think you just kind of like make up a scenario that hasn't even happened yet.
That's called cognitive distortion.
Is it? Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Work on it in therapy.
Yeah, so sometimes you do that, and I just like I don't have the worry that we're ever going to be like that, you know.
Yeah, I think it's cognitive distortion. It's when you allow like your emotions to, or there's like multiple. I think there's like 8 of them, but one of them is you allow your emotions to create false narratives in your head, and then it cognitive dissonance. No, wait, you knew that word?
Dissonance.
I don't think that.
I think that's what you're trying
It
to
was
say.
distortions. It was distortions. Cognitive distortion. If you want to look it up, that's something that like, if you're dealing with something that's causing you anxiety, you're supposed to like pinpoint where it's coming from, and then it helps. But yeah. I know I allow a lot of that to like affect me. But I was talking to one of my girlfriends, and she says that she does that a lot too. So I think it's just definitely like maybe more of a girl thing when we struggle with anxiety type of thing.
I mean, it's valid. As long as you bring that up at some point and say like, hey, I don't want to be like this, or I'm worried that we're gonna be X, Y, and Z, then like at least we can address it, you know?
Well, because I would say, and correct me if I'm wrong, the majority of our fights, if not all of them, have been due to that. Like my past experiences causing me to lash out at you.
Yeah. I'll take a little bit of blame. You don't have to blame yourself for.
I know, but I can't think of any times where like you've done anything to start a fight. I'm not just saying that.
My indecisiveness.
Oh, right. When I got angry at you this week because you were too indecisive, and then you had too strong of an opinion.
Yeah, I guess you could put it that way.
But
yeah, I don't know. I feel like I think this is common across a lot of guys where it's kind of just like, yeah, like we can do this, we can do that, up for whatever. When you're more like, I was thinking of doing this, but what do you? And then you ask me what I think.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's do it. And you're like, you don't want to do something else, and I'm like, no, it's just like I'm just ready to go with whatever you want to do.
When we get into fights, are you that person who needs time to cool off before you talk, or are you someone who wants to like deal with it right away? I mean, I know the answer, but like for the people listening,
I'd rather deal with it right away. We, you and I sit in silence for 5 to 10 minutes. I don't think that we make it any longer than that before we just like nip it in the butt. And we just start talking like, we're like, all right, I'm sorry.
If you could look into my head during those 5 to 10 minutes, you would be so sad for me. It's like, oh my God, what if we break up and never talk again? What is my life going to be like without Pete? And then it starts to hit me so hard where I'm like, I have to talk to him right now.
In my head, I'm just like, that was so stupid. Like, we're never fighting over anything that's so serious, you know?
But I like that we do that because I'm someone who needs to cool off so I can like think straight, because even if it only is 10 minutes, like sometimes that's all I need, but I can't go right into an argument, into a solution. It needs to be argument, decompress, so I can just get my thoughts in order and to realize like the irrationality of it. And then I'm like, okay, let's talk about a solution on how to fix this.
Yeah, no, I respect that too, because when you take time to do that, it allows me to decompress too. You know? And when you're in the heat of the moment and you're arguing, like you just say things that you don't mean, or you exaggerate a little bit. Like, I'm not talking about you. I just mean like everyone in general, you know? So taking a second, like when we just stop arguing for a second and we think about it, both of us end up being like, that was dumb. I'm sorry.
Well, and we have a couple rules for our relationship, like not like crazy rules, but like not fun rules either, but like, one of the things is we never go to bed angry at each other. Mm-hmm. So, like, no matter what, it doesn't matter if the fight is at 11 p.m., 8 a.m., like, we're going to resolve it before we go to bed, which I appreciate because it's nice knowing that, like, we will start talking again and deal with it and get it resolved, because there's nothing more uncomfortable than going to bed together and waking up being like, well, now we have to deal with this. Or let's say like I don't sleep over, I go home, and then I'm like, well, I'm not going to text him first. I'm going to wait for him to text me, and then next thing you know, the fight's going on for like a week straight.
I think neither of us hold grudges, which is a good thing. You
No,
know?
not at all.
Like I would never like not text you because I'm angry with you or something. And also at this point we can tell so easily. Like I could tell when you're upset, you could tell if I'm upset. Like
right?
We usually just ask each other like, are you okay? And then like the truth comes out.
Also too, like if you hold grudges, then the resentment builds, and then next thing you know, you're just resenting your partner, which is a big thing I think you and I both work on.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be sitting here resenting you so that I just start crazy, like, lashing out at you for no reason.
Totally.
But, because I feel like a lot of the questions we got was, like, how you guys, quote unquote, keep your relationship strong. And there's, like, 3 things we do that I wrote down at least.
Okay.
Maybe you have different ones, but one of them is never going to bed angry. Another thing we do, which we do need to work on being better at because we kind of took a little break from them, is our Sunday check-ins, where every Sunday we sit down, we put our phones away, and we just talk about things that are causing us anxiety, like how our week went, like what we're kind of anxious about for the upcoming week, just to kind of get it out of our system if anything is going on between us. I think I definitely want to start that up again, but not do it on Sundays because then it just causes the Monday scaries.
It gives us Sunday anxiety.
Yeah, like I feel like Fridays could be a good time to do it.
Yeah.
Or like a Wednesday.
Agreed, yeah.
Like a midweek check-in.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one is something we just started doing is the 2-part question we ask each other every night. And it's one thing we it's one thing that we appreciate about each other from that day, and then one magical thing we saw throughout our day. But it has to be that day. So for example, I could be like, Pete, I really appreciate that you cooked dinner for me. And then the other one would be the magical thing I saw today was someone opened the door for me where I had 2 boxes in my hand and I couldn't open it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be crazy. It can just be simple.
Yeah, like the other night, the waiter was great. We had such a good waiter.
Yeah. But then it makes you just like get into a positive mood because you're thinking about like the good things that happen because our world is so negative as it is. And then also when you hear what your partner appreciates about you, it's just a great feeling.
Yeah, I think even if you take that part out of it, if you don't have a partner, you should try to ask yourself, like, what is one positive thing that I saw today? Because I struggle almost every time you ask me that question. I have to start thinking about it throughout my day because it's tough. Like, you just don't realize, especially when most of your days just feel the same, and you wake up, you go to work, you come home, you go to the gym, whatever it is. It's hard to recognize something that like stood out.
Well, it helps you appreciate the little things because when we first started doing this, I feel like you were thinking of big things, but then as it went on, you were like, oh, the waiter being extra nice to us tonight.
Yeah.
Or it could be someone smiled at me. Like, it just makes you appreciate your day a lot more too. And doing those 2 things before bed, I feel like just helps you sleep better.
Totally.
And it just is a fun way to like end your night and be closer with your partner.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
So I like those. Okay, do you want to do our fight or flight segment?
Yeah, let's do it.
Do you want to explain it to the listeners since you came up with this segment?
Yeah, so the way that this is going to work is we're each going to come up with hypothetical scenarios that we give each other. And at least for the first 2, you could either say you would fight in that scenario, or flight would mean like, I'm just going to let it go.
Yeah.
And then we'll do some like quick ones where you don't have to explain why you would fight or why you would let it go. You just basically just say fight or flight.
Okay. Do you want to go first?
Yeah.
And like, let's be quick about the responses. Like, let's just say like fight or flight.
Okay.
Don't you think, or do you want to?
I think the first 2, you have to explain why you'd fight.
Okay. Deal.
All right. So this one is, my friends and I have been planning a golf trip, and it's for the year ahead. And the only way that we can make it work is if it's on the week of your birthday next year. We'll be back a few days after your birthday, and I tell you like, okay, we'll go out after your birthday, and next year's your 30th too.
Is that the only week that it works for everyone?
It's the only week.
Oh, that's fine then. As long as you take me to Napa and
Okay.
Sonoma the next weekend.
So I just have to really make up for it.
Yeah, I'm not like a big birthday person where it has to be on that specific day because I've always had a summer birthday where people's lives are so chaotic. Where as long as we can celebrate it within a few days, I could care less.
Okay.
Because what I would do is I would just like go out with my girlfriends on my actual 30th, and then you and I could go to Napa and Sonoma the next weekend.
Nice. Okay. I like that response.
That's a good one. Also too, like, you never put like you. I feel like you don't even have a chance to ever see your guy friends at this age, where it's like take advantage of it. Okay, my best guy friend is coming into town that you have never met. He has nowhere to stay. Can he stay with me and crash on my couch while I sleep in my bed?
Is he in a relationship?
No, he's single.
He's single.
But nothing's ever happened between us. I've never had feelings for him. He's truly like platonic.
I mean, I would have to like, if this is someone that you just like talk about all the time and like I was feeling weird about it, then I would question it. But I think I'd be okay with it. If like, you know, if I knew that it was just your friend, then yeah, I would say whatever.
Okay.
Okay. My second one. So I travel for work a lot and I'm going to a trip in Europe to visit a client. It's me and one of my female coworkers that are going to the client. Mm-hmm. We decide neither of us have ever been to Europe. We want to extend the trip. So we're just the two of us are going to stay in Europe for a few extra days after the client visits are done.
What's her relationship status?
Let's go with she's in a relationship.
Married or in a relationship?
Just in a relationship, not married.
She pretty? No, I'm just kidding. No, that's not. No, that
you
would
would
not
fight
fly.
that?
Yeah, because
what if she's married?
It depends. Like if it was like I won't say her name, but like your one coworker that you're like really close with who's married. Yeah, I've met her. I know her. I know her husband. She's so cool. Totally. I would question like why you wouldn't want me and her partner there. But no, because it's like, I don't want you to experience these really cool things in like some of the most romantic cities in the world with another girl. Like, F that.
Yeah.
I would fight that all day.
No, I figured that'd be your answer.
I think if you don't want me to come, you're not going.
That would also never happen. Like, I wouldn't even ask to do that.
No, none of these. But I don't even have a guy friend. You're my only guy friend. Okay. Me and the girls get together for brunch at 11 a.m. on a Saturday. Your whole family is coming into town to meet us for dinner. Both of these events have been planned for months, but I end up getting trashed at brunch and am way too drunk to come to dinner, so I bail.
Ooh, and my family's coming in for dinner. Just,
like
just me, you, and them.
Yep, they're coming for like a special occasion. We've had this plan for like 3 months. And I just get blackout at brunch, and I'm like, I'm not coming to dinner.
That's such a good one.
Thank you.
I think that we would talk about that. I wouldn't be happy about it.
Yeah.
I would have to make up a lie to my family. I would be like, she's not feeling well, she can't come. But yeah, we would like the next day I'd be pissed.
Okay. I like that. How many do you have of the short ones?
I have 4 of them. So just say fight or flight.
Yeah, but you should go through all 4 in a row, and then I'll do mine.
Okay. I turn off my location on my phone on a night when I'm out with my friends.
Fight. Yeah, so hard.
I don't offer to pay when we're out to dinner with your family.
Ooh, that's so situational. I would probably just, at this point in our relationship, or what is it? Fight or flight? Flight, yeah.
I interrupt you when you're speaking.
Fight.
And I buy a motorcycle and I don't tell you.
Fight.
Yeah?
I hate motorcycles. Okay. I tell you I'm coming home at 6 p.m., but end up coming home at 10 p.m. without communication.
Fight.
I blow you off last minute to get dinner with the girls after we had something planned.
Fight.
I plan a long trip that you weren't invited to without discussing with you first.
With who?
Like my girlfriends. Like I booked a weekend in Mexico with the girls, and I just like didn't tell you.
Until the week of?
No, like I told you, I was like, oh, by the way, I have a trip in Mexico in like a month with the girls.
Flight.
Really? I would fight that. Like, why didn't you tell me?
You do that. you'll be like, oh, I'm going to Madeline next weekend. And
Yeah, but that's different. That's like, I'm going to Minnesota.
yeah,
This is like, oh, you're right. I do that.
shout out to Madeline.
Okay. Now we have fun questions. Wait, do you want to do the list? No, let's do the listener question last. These are fun questions that people DM'd us that they want me to ask. So let me know. Are you ready?
Go for it.
Okay. What are your love languages, and what do you do to show each other love? Do you want me to remind you the love languages?
Yeah, explain those again.
Physical touch, quality time, acts of service, and words of affirmation. And you can have more than one.
And wait, this means these are the ways I like to give?
No, your love language is how you like to receive love. So like how you feel the most loved. Is it when I say nice things to you, when I'm touching you, when I'm like doing things for you, or when I'm it's just you and I?
I think quality time and physical touch.
And then how do you... Oh, wait. That's the second part question. Okay, so wait, what'd you say?
Quality time and physical touch.
So mine is words of affirmation. And I think the older I'm getting, the more... So I think I used to be so ashamed to say acts of service because it sounds very selfish. But I think I am acts of service because like when you leave little notes for me, it like is the best thing in the world. Like I don't mean like you're buying me gifts. It's like when you have gotten me flowers or you've like written me notes, I'm like, this is the best thing in the world. So I think acts of service and words of affirmation.
Okay.
And then it says, what do you do to show each other love? I mean, I feel like for you, like we're very affectionate verbally.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're constantly saying like how much we love each other. Like we can't wait to see each other, miss you. I feel like I do like little things like I'll unload your dishwasher after work or clean up, like stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, you just told them.
Yeah.
I leave you notes sometimes.
That's the best.
Like if I know that you're going to my apartment to record later that day, I'll leave you a note or something like that.
And you'll set up my recording station.
And I set up the recording station, yeah.
It's the best. Oops.
Words of affirmation, definitely.
Yeah.
Like pretty much as soon as I see you every single time, I'm like, you look great.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Yeah, I think those are probably the two main ways.
Okay, next question. How much of the chase was involved when you guys started dating? None.
Not at all.
We didn't play any games with each other, and that's one of the reasons why I fell for you is because I never felt any anxious feelings when we were going out. I always knew when I was going to see you next. I never felt like you were avoiding me or ghosting me or blowing me off. Like, never a chase.
No, I feel the same way. I mean, even so at the end of our first date, I just like I wasn't sure if it like went so well or if I was going to see you again. But you immediately texted me afterwards, and like that was around the time you were moving, and you're like, oh, we found an apartment. I think it was what happened. But like you just like constantly kept the conversation going. It didn't feel like there was any need to be a chase.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. If anyone is interested in learning more about Pete and I's beginning stories or any dating app stuff, he came on the podcast back in October, like we mentioned, and we talked about on that episode, and it's Jordan's relationship status, I believe is the title. So go check that out. How many dates do you think is it appropriate before having sex, or do you dismiss a girl if she sleeps with you on the first date?
I think to each their own. Like it also depends. What are you looking for?
Yeah.
If you're not looking for a relationship, then do whatever you think is right, and also whatever you're comfortable with. Don't do anything you're uncomfortable with.
Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say. So if you don't feel like it's right to do it that night, then don't do that. But if you're someone, I think if you're a girl specifically who is looking for a relationship, that holding out is a good way to filter out guys who are not looking for a relationship.
So if we would have slept together on the first night, would you have been like, she's not girlfriend material, or would you be like, I still like her?
No, I probably wouldn't have thought anything of it. I might have questioned like what exactly you're looking for, but I don't think it would have had a huge impact on anything.
Okay, love. Favorite thing we've learned about each other?
I think So I made so many assumptions before meeting you, which you know, because you're on social media and I had seen you before. I think one of the biggest assumptions was that you're just like insanely extroverted because of your career. You know, you're on camera all the time. You make TikToks, social media, all of that. And something that I've learned about you that I love is that you're actually more of like an introverted extrovert, where like you still like to go out and have fun, but you love introverted things. Like you want to just stay inside and read and things like that. And I appreciate that because I'm more along those lines too.
Yeah. I think my favorite things I've learned about you is how caring you are and how patient you are, because I've never met someone more caring than you.
Really?
Yeah. I've told
Thank
you
you
that since the beginning.
I appreciate that.
You're very patient.
Try to be.
Okay, we'll do one dating app tip because this girl specifically asked you, Pete. She said, this one's for Pete. What do you guys look for on a dating app that makes them want to match with a girl?
I wrote something down about this. Okay, so definitely do not take a prompt off of Google or off of something that your friends have told you. One that I constantly saw was, my love language is tequila.
Yeah.
Like that was just on every single girl's profile. And it just is like, after the 30th time of seeing that, it's kind of like, this is, you know, you copy and pasted that from somewhere. Like you didn't even put a little bit of effort. And it just tells me that there's like, you're not showing any of your personality, which is hard to do on a dating app. So
Okay, Dua Lipa.
My prompts weren't great either.
What was that? It was like, can't remember what it was, but Dua Lipa was the answer.
I don't remember. That was so long ago.
I think people forget how important prompts are on dating apps if you're looking for something serious.
Yeah, I mean, look, dating apps are superficial, and the first thing you notice is somebody's looks. So if we take that out of the equation, like what's left? It's just the prompts.
Yeah.
So try to be like a little unique, show a little bit of your personality, and it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be the funniest person. Just like put something that describes you.
Well, no, be yourself, because let's say you're very shy, but you go on there being a comedian. You're going to go on dates with guys expecting you to be a comedian.
Exactly, yeah.
Also, make yourself stand out. You know how many people you scroll past? Like, what's going to make you look different than the other 100 girls that guy is looking at, or vice versa?
Totally. And I know you said only one thing, but one last thing is, I think in an effort to go on as many dates as you can to meet a person that you eventually want to be with, like set your bar slightly lower than you think that it should be set at, because a lot of times people don't look exactly like their pictures.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
I'm not talking about you. You looked at just like your pictures, but
No, but that's so valuable. My therapist was like, you really got to stop swiping the same type of guy. Just like, if you like a prompt and think they're funny, but maybe they're not the best, like quote unquote, the best looking guy, because like pictures don't do people justice, still swipe right or say yes. And I started doing that. And like my dates were so much better because I started going on dates with more fun people. And I met you. And I'm just kidding. I like your pictures.
yeah, no, but it's like applying to jobs too. It's like you apply to 100 and 10 get back to you, and then 3 of those turn into like long-term interviews. So like you have to go on a decent amount of dates to find someone that you feel compatible with.
Oh my God, it's such a numbers game. Like, I can't stand when people are like, I've gone on a couple of dates and they all suck. It's like, do you know how many dates most people go on?
Yeah.
I had Hinge from like 2019 until 2023.
Yep.
Like,
Same.
and you're the only person I've dated long term from Hinge.
Yeah, me too.
Like, that's wild. Okay, and then the last question is, if a girl wants to reschedule a date, should it be on them to find a new day, or should the guy keep trying to schedule something off? Or is it a sign she's trying to blow me off?
So the girl is saying, hey, I can't make it. Let's
Yeah.
reschedule.
Like, do you think it's on the guy to come up with more dates?
Yeah.
Or should she?
I mean, how many times? If it happens, if she's done this 5 times, then maybe call it quits. But if she does it 1, 2 times, like, yeah, like I don't think because she's like, hey, I need to cancel, now it's her responsibility to plan the date.
Yeah. So flipping that in a girl's world, that was a rule I always had. If a guy like canceled on me or said they couldn't do anything, I wouldn't follow up unless they were like, hey, this date doesn't work, but does Thursday work? But if they were just like, this date doesn't work, I'm like, no problem. And then I ended there.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, because if they really want to see you, they'll find another date.
Exactly. It's not that complicated.
Yeah. Okay, and then last but not least, we have a listener question. Are you ready for it? Should I try reading it?
Do you want me to?
Do you want to?
I can read it.
Oh, yeah, you have. I was like, how are you going to read it? Which I feel like this is a good listener question because it kind of involves like things that we've talked about. So
yeah. Okay. So this listener says, my boyfriend broke up with me because I struggle with anxiety, but by no means does it impair my functioning of daily life. I'm successful. I have a great group of friends. I have a nice apartment. I work out. But anxiety is something I struggle with, especially with anxious attachment. I'm wondering if you guys have any thoughts or advice because I'm blaming myself for the breakup. You answer first.
okay, definitely not her fault. This is kind of this. I mean, this type of situation can go deep. Like when someone has like of severe anxiety and they don't receive help for it, I can see how it can destroy a relationship. It can be suffocating. But this girl sounds like she has a great job, friends, successful. Like it's not impairing her daily life. So it almost seems like the boyfriend just maybe isn't on the same emotional wavelength as her to deal with her anxiety, or maybe just doesn't like her enough to want to like dive deep and deal with it, or he just doesn't, maybe it's like triggering his anxiousness that he deals with that he doesn't want to deal with. Like anxiety can mean so many different things and like it can, it's.
No, that's a good answer. I think.
But it's not her fault.
No, totally not her fault. Don't be scared of dating anyone else because of that, because you'll find someone who is able to help you with it and hopefully make it better. But it's hard to answer this question without knowing exactly like what the anxiety is. Like, did you have a crazy fear of flying, and that means you guys can't go on like far trips or something?
Yeah.
Or is it more of like a social anxiety thing? But
like, is it affecting his life too?
Yeah, exactly. Like, how does it impact his life? But the way I look at it is like, if you suffer from some sort of anxiety, like you have anxieties.
Yeah.
But I don't think that you suffer from something like that's severe in a specific way.
It's not changing what we do on a daily basis.
Not at all. Yeah. But it's honestly, like, I hate to say this, but it almost feels like, I don't know a lot about the situation, but it almost feels like he used her anxiety as an excuse to end the relationship.
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds like a cop out, just like an easy answer to be like, I don't want to date you anymore. Because, like, what girl doesn't have anxiety?
Who doesn't have anxiety?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a girl. Like, everyone has anxiety.
But if this girl's listening, like, you don't want to be with someone who doesn't want to deal with your struggles. Like, you should want someone who wants you on the good days and the bad days. Mm-hmm. So you deserve better, and it's not your fault. Agreed.
Drop that guy.
Wow, Pete, you did really good. Anything else you want to add?
No, just thanks for having me again. And if you guys don't, go like, subscribe, and follow Mean Girl Pod on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
And follow
and
Pete.
Snapchat.
Do you want to put out your handle for people to follow you?
Yeah, follow me. We'll put the handle in the description.
Peter, or no, it's just Pete Fayen, right?
P Fayen, I think, on Instagram.
P Fayen?
Yeah, just
no
you
underscore.
You could search my name. I don't think there's an underscore.
Well, thank you for coming on the podcast. You did so well.
Thanks. Yeah,
Great job.
It's fun. I love coming here. I'll come back anytime.
Okay. Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay, that's it for today's episode. As always, thank you for listening to Mean Girl Pod, powered by Just Media House. I'm Alex Bennett.
And I'm Jordan Woodruff. So, AB, do what you do best.
If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, rate, and review. We are at Mean Girl Pod on all platforms. Stay connected with us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and Snapchat at Mean Girl Pod. Podcast and social artwork and post-production by Creative Evolution Studios. Theme song to the Mean Girl Pod performed by Sergi Asbel. Mean Girl Pod, we're your besties in your ear. New episodes every Monday.